Good morning, Monday, January 13th. We got a nice, beautiful week ahead of us, but today we are going to talk, I know, a lot to talk about. Today we're going to talk about the wildfires, though, also consumer satisfaction and what it's like to be committed to excellence, even in the middle of a pro football game. Kyle's so excited
I can't
about
wait
this.
to talk about that last story because I found the comment maybe like
the comment to end all comments.
Oh, the comments were so good. All right. Well, yeah, we'll save that. If you want to know more about it, stick around to the end is what we're trying to say.
It's so good. Couple things to talk about as we get this week started. Number one, NADA show coming in hot. We built a site so you know what you're doing every night of NADA. It's called, put the screen up, NADAparties.com, NADAparties.com, where you can get a I won't say a comprehensive, it is comprehensive, but there are still some that aren't on there, but you can definitely check out all the things that are going on in the evenings and a couple breakfast events too at the show. So you never know what you're doing. All the companies, the parties, the dates, the times, you can click through, you can read about it. You can usually click through to the registration to get that going. If you have a party that isn't on there and you want it on there, just go to the site, NADAparties.com, click on the button. You can submit your stuff. We'll put it up for free so everyone can know what's up. And make sure you check out our party. You know, we built the site and all that for free, but we have a party too. Oh, want to thank our friends at Clairvoy.
Yes.
Friends at Clairvoy. Steve White specifically has a special place in ASOTU history. We'll tell you the story again sometime. He so does. But thanks for partnering with us on the site to make sure that you all can see where you're going. Make sure you click up and sign up for ASOTU's First Stop Party. This thing is going to be rip-roaring, packed wall to wall. All the people you wanted to see and talk to in the beginning of the night, right? Some people you don't want to talk to at the end of the night.
It's an easy way to just get your Friday night started, you know? Like good energy, good community, couple drinks, hang out, and then get after the
whatever else it is.
Life.
There is a wait list right now, just saying the party is booked. We have a big space, but it's booked. Get on the wait list because tickets are absolutely going to open up closer to the event. We are going to confirm attendance. So if you're going, make sure you watch your email, text messages so you can say, yes, this is me and I'm coming. If not, we're going to give you a ticket to somebody on the wait list. So make sure you're on the wait list. And if you get an email, make sure you confirm attendance because that would be tragic.
Easy enough. Easy enough.
All right. I think
let's get it. Just mention real quick, the ASOTU CON site is live. Tickets are available. The app is ready to download. You can start hanging out, talking with your friends. ASOTUCon.com. That's where it's at.
All right, let's get into some serious stuff first. Wildfires, obviously everyone's paying attention to them. Raging across Southern California, local businesses, including, covered this last year, a lot of car dealerships facing significant challenges. Over 45 square miles now have burned, forcing evacuations and disrupting all kinds of operations. Some dealerships have temporarily closed, while others rally to support the communities. That's what we do as AutoNation.
That's right.
LAcarGUY temporarily closed the Santa Monica dealerships and one Hollywood store. Group 1 closed its Mercedes store in Beverly Hills. AutoNation reported no direct damage, but continues to monitor the situation obviously closely. Matthew Phillips, CEO of CarPro's Auto Group, expressed concern for employees and the community. He said, look, a lot of our people are getting affected by this now, where not only is there damage, but there's evacuations, and there's all types of stuff, right? All types of human things. Very sadly, in a LinkedIn post, Brett Sutherland, a lot of us know him, friend of ASOTU, CEO of Sutherland Automotive Group, actually lost his home. He lost his personal home to the Palisades fire. Posted something on LinkedIn, said, we'll be going through a lot over the next few weeks and dealing with the loss of our beautiful home and honestly, entire neighborhood. So look, if you know Brett, any support, I'm sure he appreciates the well wishes. You know, I don't even know what to say. It's like such a tragic loss. My family and I were talking about, like, what does it feel like to lose everything, right?
And this is like, whenever you talk about natural disasters see no socioeconomic status, neighborhood. It doesn't see any of it. So it touches everyone out there. And if you just like look at the maps or look at what's going on, or you've seen some of the videos of what looks like almost a war-torn area, I can't imagine what's going on out there. Obviously, we would love to share if you know anyone that is doing good work alongside the community or alongside nonprofits. Let us know. We'd love to share that out. We may be doing some research over the next couple of days just to get a landing page together to like put a central place where everybody can go, have an opportunity to give back, because we know that's what dealers across the country, industry partners across the country do. we rally together.
Yeah, one example of that, Rob Hernandez, president of Camino Real Chevrolet, is working with LA New Car Dealer Association. We know our friend Brian Maz there, in a collaborative effort with a lot of Chevy dealers, even down south towards San Diego, where they're organizing to supply first responders with food, water, masks, vehicles. Even it's not in the story, but Elon Musk pulled a bunch of Cybertrucks that were slated for delivery and actually deployed them in a grid-like fashion across LA with Starlink systems to give people internet access and haul supplies. People were getting messages say, hey, we know you were waiting for your Cybertruck delivery. That's going to be delayed because of the fires. And so, like,
that's amazing.
Love them or hate them. Like,
cool.
the car dealers, they step up.
Car people, man.
They do. Speaking of stepping up,
Segue.
just the other side of that.
Like real.
New vehicle buyer satisfaction is hitting record highs in 2024, driven by enhanced digital tools and seamless integration. Get this, between online and in-store. According to Cox Automotive's latest car buyer journey study, 75% of new car buyers reported being highly satisfied with their shopping experience, underscoring things like transparency, technology, efficiency. How about that? So this is up from 73%. I think 73% we were at an all-time high, and we keep pushing the thing. 75%. Dealership satisfaction across the board hit 81%, with shoppers reporting reduced sticker shock. That makes sense, and more positive feelings around things like vehicle selection.
Absolutely.
EV buyers are they're the most satisfied, by 82% highly satisfied, compared to 75% of gas-powered buyers. Digital adoption is increased 16% of EV buyers, 6% of hybrid buyers, and 4% of gas-powered buyers completed purchases entirely online. Asterisks there, right? Overall buyer satisfaction, though, so that's a new car. Overall satisfaction, however, fell slightly from 60 to 67%, down from 69%, attributed to higher loan rates and tight used vehicle inventory. So there's a little tie there between, like, can I get the car I want? Yeah. Here's a quote. Isabel Helms, Cox Automotive VP of Research, noted, buyer satisfaction is influenced not merely by the time involved, but rather by the efficiency of the transactional aspects of the buying journey.
Yeah, to that last comment, I've always stated, and when I was training, nobody really cares how much time buying a car takes, as long as it doesn't feel like a painful thing. Right?
That's right.
Some people want to buy a car in 15 minutes. Some people want to buy a car in 5 hours. It just depends on how that process feels, looks, how the interaction goes. What I love about this is, like, we're seeing these micro moments, people actually buying cars and servicing them, as getting much better. Where I see this is, like, you still got 25% detractors out there. They're probably not just middle of the road type people. They're actually detractors. So you kind of like have this railroad split. And obviously used car purchasing is much higher volume than new car. So we see that on the lower side as well. We still have work to do, but the work is being done well across the board, both by the manufacturers and the franchise auto dealerships. My contention here is, like, until you get to 100%, you don't get a culture that recognizes that buying a car actually can be fun.
I know, right? Like, we're going to Public Policy Day in a few weeks, the week after NADA, down in DC with our friends at Wanata, and the conversation in public policy is always around the percent that aren't happy, right? The vocal minority who are, like, experiencing these really negative things. So, like you said, Kyle, until you get to 100%, if we get to 90%, we're still going to be having these conversations, which is why we need to make the message louder about who car dealers are, what their intentions are, and that, you can do all the stuff you want. That job gets exponentially more difficult for the PR side to let people know the good things, when things like in the transaction, technical things, efficiency things aren't
the little
working
things.
Right. Isn't it crazy? Yep. Like, those things are the ones that are steering public perception much more.
You're exactly right.
So, good work.
Yep.
There's still work to be done.
Still work to be done. Speaking of work to be done.
Stop. Segue.
Try not to smile too much during this.
AJ Brown feels the same way. I'm going to say these words out loud, and hopefully Paul can maintain himself. During the Philadelphia Eagles 22-10 playoff victory over the Green Bay Packers, wide receiver AJ Brown kicked off a viral moment by, get this, reading a book on the sidelines. Brown, who had a quiet game with only one catch for 10 yards, was reading Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy, a book focused on mental training for peak performance. The wide receiver had limited involvement in the game with just one reception again. He explained that he brings the book to every game for a sense of peace, referring to it as his recipe. Commentators Kevin Burkhold and Tom Brady noted Brown's sideline reading during the broadcast, adding a lighthearted moment to the game. He said that it gives him that sense of peace and continually reads it on the sidelines. And hey, I think he kind of needed it last night. That's the only problem.
He did.
Struggled.
He did. He had one catch for 10 yards. I had to put my Eagles jersey on while you were doing that story, by the way.
Unbelievable.
It's an on-brand Eagles jersey. Look at the ASOTU CON on the back.
That's fair. That's fair. It is. There's the ASOTU CON. I love it.
First ASOTU CON was actually in Philly. What I saw them like hit the book, and then eventually they went back to it. But he was reading on the sideline, and it just triggered these I mean, first it was like, that's awesome because there's an NFL player reading a paperback. Right. I was like, please don't be a romance novel, because we didn't know what it was at the time. But it was underlined. It was highlighted as they zoomed in on it. And I think this is indicative of a lot of the leaders that you and I see and know who are committed to reading and personal growth, even in the midst of like this business, which is a contact sport. And so obviously it's the Eagles. I'm down with that. And it was great to see AJ Brown, who was having a rough night. Right. I mean, he just wasn't targeted a lot, right? And that's got to be so boring or like hard for a very talented wide receiver to spend most of the night feeling more like a track star, right? You're just running down the field, coming back. But I think this is just a little indicative lesson of all the leaders that we know, and all of the salespeople who are trying to grow, and all the service writers who are trying to grow, and the people who are on all ends of the spectrum as far as starting their career or being through the career. I think this is just a good little lesson. Like, the greats are great for a reason. They're committed.
Always
committed to doing things that other people aren't doing. So
also, I will say this. So my favorite, and I can't even get the vernacular right again because it's not in my vernacular, but I bet it's something that people say all the time. But the comments on social media around this post were something like, this guy's out here clipping frames for his documentary 10 years from now.
You do wonder that, like, he's not typically someone who like does the publicity stunt kind of thing,
right?
But you got to think, in this media world that we live in, doing something like this and getting it on
iconic
national
like
TV,
it,
like, you think his following's growing today? You think if he ends up being one of the all-time greats? All I have to say is I have a really good friend named Jim Murphy, actually. And so I'm like, bro, if there's ever a day to be out in the world, it's today.
It's today.
He's not an Eagles fan, but the author's name is Jim Murphy. The cover of the book is terrible, right? Like, if you're the publisher, time for a reprint, redesign that cover, get that out there. Imagine if you become like one of the best-selling books read by professional athletes. Like, there's all kinds of
their moment.
opportunity
It's
here.
literally and okay, so to tie it back, like, find places where you can hit your moment, right? Find places where the rest of the world is getting close to what you are, and lean into it.
Yeah,
and that'll always.
I gotta tell you, there's no AI hack for reading a paperback book on the sidelines of a professional football game. That's real life, everybody. You're in real life. Get out there, serve some people. We'll see you here tomorrow.